Hey all, I'm your host Cryptic and welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be talking about the new PlayStation Plus tier subscription and comparing it to a very old but also current friend of ours in regards to the PlayStation Vita, which will make more sense as we get on with the video. Now without further ado, let's do just that, get straight into it. Now as you know, PlayStation Plus, the 3 tiers of PlayStation Plus has now launched worldwide. Most recently, it finally did launch here in Australia, and to be honest, it wasn't the best overall. I know there's a lot of comparison being made to the Xbox Game Pass, Microsoft Game Pass, which to be fair, as a subscription model for video games, is probably bar none the best, but also with its own issues, which this video isn't about. It's more so focused on the PlayStation Plus side of things and comparing it to what's already available and what we've already sort of done on the channel, right? So when it finally launched here in Australia, and I'm going to be sort of viewing this on the webpage, which I'll link in the description box, and I'll have some screenshots up above. When we got it, we got 3 tiers, basic, extra, and deluxe. We didn't get a premium, etc. We got the deluxe. The reason being, in Australia, with a whole bunch of other territories as well around the world, we don't have PlayStation Now streaming for PlayStation 3. We don't have that at all. I don't believe our internet network is too poor for it. It's just that they don't want to invest the money for local servers to sort of have those PS3s streaming it locally in Australia to Australians, and that would apply to anywhere else that has the deluxe PlayStation Plus as a top tier as opposed to the premium. With that being said, what comes with the PlayStation Plus tiers here in Australia and those who have very similar tiers? Now to quickly go over these tiers, it's the PlayStation Plus Essential, which is the everyday PlayStation Plus that we've come to know, love or hate depending on your experience with it. The following one is PlayStation Plus Extra, which gives you PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games, 400 games downloadable, which is added and updated monthly because some games will be removed from the service due to licensing or agreement expiries and not being renewed, and additional ones coming in. A lot of this you will notice, and this is where my disappointment did come in, a lot of the games in this tier sort of already existed if you've had PlayStation Plus, the bare bones version with the 3 or 4 games per month sort of thing, for a few years now, because a lot of those games are already sort of included in that. There are additional ones, of course, ones that have exclusively launched with the new tiers being launched. But overall, 400 titles into that, and the new ones being like Demon's Souls, Assassin's Creed, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, Guardians of the Galaxy, etc, etc, a whole bunch of others which I can't remember off the top of my head now. But yeah, so with those titles, if you've already bought them, or you're the type of gamer that tends to gravitate towards these type of exclusives or platform exclusives and sort of play them when they sort of within the first few months of them being launching, this might feel like, you know, what's the point? And I can understand that. I'm sort of in that boat, but I'll sort of get into that later. And then the deluxe, which essentially adds PS1, PSP, and PS2 titles. No PS3 for us, again, we don't have the streaming, along with some game trials, which are essentially glorified demos, which for all intents and purposes used to be free not so long ago. And now all of a sudden they're behind a subscription paywall, which is a bit ridiculous to say the least. Now, the video that we're doing here essentially is if you are wanting to look at upgrading your PlayStation Plus subscription, is it worth actually doing PlayStation Plus Extra or the Deluxe or neither or just Essential? Which one? And I'm going to give you my honest take on this, and I'm going to break it down with some reasoning. If you agree with it, great. If not, that is fine. I'm happy to have everyone's opinions in the comment section below, and have a great discussion about this. Now, if you're the type of person who doesn't game too often, you like owning physical games when you do end up picking up or wanting to play a game, then maybe PlayStation Plus Essential, as it is more for you. Or if you're the more of the type who likes playing online and socializing with friends and doing the free-to-play stuff, or some of the multiplayer-only big launches like Call of Duty, etc., then Essential is all you really need, and that's totally fine. For a long time, I was thinking, you know what, Essential is going to be fine for me. But this is where we get into the next one, PlayStation Plus Extra. It is good in the sense that it seems to look like that there are going to be potentially a substantial with what's sort of happening and developing around PlayStation Plus of day one or close enough to day one third-party releases on the Extra platform, right? From third-party developers, not first-party from in-house, PlayStation Studios, but third-party, which for some will be, you know what, that's pretty good. And if you were to ask me, I tend to play a lot of third parties a lot less lately because I tend to, my time is valuable. If I'm gonna spend time on a game, whether it be, a 4-hour game or a 40-hour game or a 400-hour game, it's gotta be top tier. So I have studios that I tend to focus on that when they launch something, it's a must play. Anyone else, I tend not to take a chance because I just don't have that luxury anymore. Not that I don't have the cash flow, it's more so the luxury of time. So if I want to invest into a game, get a game, those are the studios I'm going to get it from, and they're worth my time. But with that, a lot of these games that you might not normally want to give a chance to, or you find interesting, but you're like, you know what, forget about it, or just end up forgetting about them anyway, even though you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to look at reviews, etc. PlayStation Plus Extra makes a lot of sense. You will eventually get first-party titles, maybe 6 to 12 months down the track of their launch, and then they'll go on there, which will probably be around the time they go on to making a PC variant of the game, because Sony does make a lot of money selling first-party titles. They make a crap ton of money, a lot more than Microsoft has in the last few years. A lot of their stuff, unfortunately, selling-wise, because they sort of lost all the second-party exclusive from EA and etc., and it all became multi-platform due to contracts lapsing, their console figures and their software figures just weren't working, I guess. And then they've sort of brought this new model of a subscription service for games, which they're taking the industry by storm, and good on them. But with Sony, they sell millions, tens of millions of copies for their big hitters. You've got God of War Ragnarok coming up now, and the hype for that is through the roof by a lot of outlets, fans, and gamers, considering how the last one performed. Justifiably so, but like anything, if you hype it up too much, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, because there is no perfect game. But then again, to each their own, they might have that one perfect game that does already exist. Now, PlayStation Plus Extra seems to make the most sense if you are to upgrade to anything between the Essential, Extra, and the Deluxe. The reason I say that, if you have a PlayStation Vita, and if you've done the jailbreaking tutorial on the channel, you have absolutely no reason to get a Deluxe unless you're looking at playing PS3 titles. If you have the premium tier, if you're in the regions of the world that have premium and have the streaming. But then again, who wants to stream games? The input lag, the fluctuation in quality, etc. is horrendous. That's why a lot of streaming services just died. They just died. They just promised the world, and it just didn't happen, couldn't happen. Stadia, it's not great. So if you're looking at specifically playing the PS1, PSP, and select PS2 titles, do it on a jailbroken Vita. It is way better. A lot of them are HD collection variants of those big classics, a way larger library of games, and just work a lot better on the portable handheld. Now, here's the catch, guys. But I like playing on a TV. I don't want to play it on a handheld, OLED from like 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Fine. If you can find one, which I think you can readily find new ones online for the PlayStation TV, PS Vita TV. Get that, do the exact same jailbreak, and play these games on your TV. There you go. Done. Way better solution, And not only that, you're not locked into just the PlayStation ecosystem. As you know, you can emulate Nintendo, Sega, and arcade systems on the Vita ecosystem. It is phenomenal. That's why it is and continues to be the best emulation, aside from PC, we'll take PC to the side, best emulation console ever. And it makes so much more sense than spending so much money per year on the deluxe or even premium. Like I said, unless PS3 titles and you're in that region that has PS3 streaming and you're enjoying it and you never really had a PS3 and you want to experience all those games, totally understand it, go for it. But otherwise, save your money, invest it in a Vita and play all the PlayStation titles that you wanted from your childhood and the remakes and the HD upgrades. I mean, you've got Metal Gear Solid, you've got Jak and Daxter, you've got Sly Cooper, you've got the whole lot. There's so many niche titles that never really made it into the West that are on the Vita that you can get from the PlayStation Store on the Vita and other ways, which you can easily find out on the interwebs. So yeah, why even waste your time getting the deluxe? The Vita is so much better, and within about a year you make all your money back. And even then, once you have all those titles done in there, you're set, you're done. Play to your heart's content. You don't have to stream these titles. They're saved physically on the system, on the memory card, that you've put on there. It's so good. Unlimited library, as many games as you want, as many platforms as you want. And that's why I'm saying, if you are to upgrade to any version of the PlayStation Plus subscription, Essential or Extra. If you're primarily a multiplayer only person, Essential makes probably the most sense. If you like having an instant library and you're the type of person who's never sure whether they like something or not, go the Extra. If you've got, let's say, a few months left and you're not sure, pay the few dollars that it's going to be to upgrade your existing subscription to the Extra tier and see if there's enough titles there that are worth it. If not, when it notifies you that renewal is due for your PlayStation Plus, drop down back to the Essential. Super easy. But yeah, that's my honest take on it. I don't think the deluxe or premium are really worth it. I don't think anyone wants to just stream PS3 titles. I definitely don't want to. If they were to make the PS3 titles available, let's have them physically on the system, properly emulated. Because look, to be honest, I'm sure the PS5 can emulate PS3 titles. I mean, if PCs now can launch every game and it doesn't need to be the most souped up PC, they probably spec lower than the current PS5 or equal to the PS5. I'm pretty sure Sony can definitely do it. I know there'll be licensing issues and redoing contracts because you're technically playing them on newer hardware and emulating them as if they were on the PS3 as opposed to just playing them on the PS3. That's understandable, but let's do it. That's a lot better than streaming them in subpar quality. And especially with, again, the biggest thing, which I haven't even mentioned, PS1, PS3 and PS2, depending on what region you're in, especially PS1 and PS2, they could be in PAL. We're technically a PAL region here in Australia, so that's 50 Hertz. And it runs like crap. It runs so bad, especially on modern hardware now. Like with, 4K TVs and LED panels, flat panels, they just look terrible. They look terrible and just make you motion sick. You don't have any of those problems on the Vita TV or the Vita handheld. So definitely the best way to play those titles. So yeah, guys, if you agree with me or not, leave a comment below. I'd really appreciate the engagement. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. Things have just been hectic with work, life, health, all that, but all is pretty good now. Hoping to get more regular again with the content, but also I don't just want to put out content for the sake of just having something there. I want to make it informative and worthwhile, and I hope this video was just that. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment below with your thoughts and opinions. It's all appreciated. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and share the video with friends. Really appreciate everyone that's been subscribing, even though I haven't posted the most content in the last couple months. But every single one of you are appreciated, and I'm still aiming, and hopefully we can hit 500 subs this year before the year's up. It seems like we're definitely on track for it, but I definitely need to you know, improve my game in the content side to make it worthwhile for people to continue subscribing, which I definitely will. Again, guys, thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.